Greetings. These are the 11:20 talking points that I prepared for the Zoom calls, and this should be considered the second edition of this stream of consciousness because I did this with an earlier adjunct, so this is maybe a new, improved edition. I'm going to talk about what is Math 1120. I think it's important to talk a little bit about the history, so I will. I'll talk a little bit about course collateral and, in fact, the students, and then I will close with some advice and certainly my blessing. So here's the course description. Students will be introduced to mathematical applications and problem solving in the field of sonography. Topics include systems of measurement, dimensional analysis, application of formulas, probability and statistics. Curriculum is designed for ultrasound program applicants. You really should not have other students in the class. Occasionally you will get a CPA student who's just chalking up a whole bunch of hours, but generally you should only have ultrasound program applicants. These are the course objectives, and you see that this is a mix of ultrasound topics and physics topics, as well as statistics and probabilities. Turns out that this is a balance that I think should be about 50-50 when I teach it. I teach one of the disciplines, either statistics or physics first, and then I follow that with the other one, and I use midterm as a break point between these. And here's a topical outline. Some of these topics are kind of involved, like Snell's law, for example, involves trigonometry, and some of the students don't have that. Other things are really not included in the textbooks we use and have to be augmented. The medical conditioning, prevalence, sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy, all are things that have separate collateral that I've developed. And so those are the topical outline. Again, I use these to guide the course, and I consider it a good semester if I can put a check mark beside all of these things. Now, I'm going to talk about the history, but I'm going to open with something I'm going to repeat later. But I strongly recommend that you do a guided study group for this course, especially as an adjunct. It provides some on-campus additional on-campus presence for the students. And Linda Shaw coordinates the guided study groups, and in fact she's been my co-pilot on this course many times, and she has ideas about the course and a lot of experience, as well as she can work to develop someone to work with you if you choose to go this way. So anyway, that's a strong initial recommendation. The early history of this course is it actually had a difficult birth. I remember it was a very confrontational college-wide curriculum meeting that I went to because it really was about who controlled this course. Was it the DMIS department, or was it the math department? And that particular battle actually was won by the DMIS department, and in fact they emerged having to write permits for any student to even enroll in this math course. So that was a difficult birth, and in fact the early history of this course, because of that schism, there was not someone in the math department who was teaching this on a regular basis, and an adjunct was secured for this, and that adjunct taught this for a number of years under the direct guidance of the ultrasound director. And that was, I suppose, okay until there was a textbook crisis that happened. And the textbook crisis actually happened because the full-time faculty worried about that, and no one in the full-time faculty was watching this very closely. And so there was a textbook crisis, and in the wake of the textbook crisis, the then department chair of mathematics suggested that, gee, there really ought to be full-time faculty teaching this, and I decided, why not? I would give it a go. And so I leapt into this and did a lot of this in fact, for a long time, I was then the sole teacher of this. And so in this, I'm considering this like the birth, early childhood, foster home. The adoptive parents were Linda and me. Here are some of the things that we did because I was trying to make this more our own, make it a better course. So I restored math curricular control. I changed the curriculum where they do not, the control really rests with the math department. I ended up emphasizing Excel as a computational aid in the course, and accordingly often rehomed the class into a computer-equipped classroom where everybody had all the materials in front of them and they could use Excel, and we could walk around, Linda and I, and help the students do this. I also, because of the textbook crisis, did a lot of work on a new, more complete custom e-text for the students. And then we entered the COVID days, and there's a whole suite of videos and things like that that were made for the course in line with the custom e-text. Then we entered a period of shared custody where adjuncts started teaching either part of these or all of these. And in each of these cases, I ended up having to have some significant intervention, but this was always involving either the textbooks or the physics content. So those are areas that I'm going to say are those can be some landmines, and I'll talk about those later. So known landmines then, it is a lot of content. This is about 60% of the statistics course. It's about 60% of a physics course, and that adds up to more than one. And then you have the ultrasound applications. Now the textbook is a custom e-textbook, and I've updated this for the fall. But you really should make it your own because you are going to be asked to provide the students with a link to your book, and so you must get that done. And Pearson requires this update based on the teacher, and I don't like that, but that's the way they do it currently with this custom publishing. So the content is one area that you want to focus on and really understand the student constituency. There will be diverse backgrounds. Some of these are people who are working full-time and they want to change professions. They don't have much time, and their backgrounds often were different and long ago. Some of the students are coming directly from high school, but they studied with COVID, and so they really don't have strong prerequisites. So there are often issues with students' prerequisite. Not all of them, but some of them. Your classes will be primarily women. There are some men who enter this field, but it definitely is a minority. And they are very, very intent on making this a successful career for themselves in the near term. So they are, in one sense, type A personalities, but they don't have a lot of time and they're very underprepared. Please be aware of this and realize this as you go in. Also, the program makes this one pathway to qualify for the program is to get 1120, but they have to earn a B or better in 1120. The students are very aware of this, and this becomes really kind of an issue because the program requirements are a B or better. You should expect numerous reference requests from the students, and you should have answers prepared for that. And many of these students have a trigger finger on administrative speed dial. One student, in fact, was asking me what was her final grade, and she needed to know it because she needed to know if she had to appeal this to the dean. That's actually kind of a prevalent mindset with some of these students. I did create a custom text in Pearson Collections, and it was thoughtfully done and actually was a very significant amount of labor, and this is where you want to go and register to create your own custom text. you can copy my custom text, but you want to make your own version, or else they will send the email to me and your students will be confused. So you want to make your own version. You're free to copy this if you want. Now, some students used this, but many did not, because, and by the way, they're raising the price of this. This has swelled from $150 when I first was doing it. Now they're wanting to charge $238 for the same content. If I were going ahead, I'd actually think about doing this differently, but I think I'm looking at 1120 in the rearview mirror now. On the other hand, since many did not use this, my notes and the videos were actually pretty complete. And in fact, students, many students did just fine with my notes and in the videos. But this is what I put together. This is actually the physics piece. I often do the statistics first. There's a reason for that I won't go into here. But this is the physics piece of the book. And I augmented this with extra material, most notably from a guy by the name of Edelman's Ultrasound Physics. And these are the chapters from Sullivan's statistics book that are included here as well. So, concluding with some advice from the heart, strongly, again, consider implementing a GSG mechanism. I don't think you'll regret it. And begin making your own copy of this book so you can offer the content invitation yourself to the students. And begin thinking early about the course content. I encourage you to treat all content as mandatory, and some may require some preparation. I really don't know about your background. And when I teach the course, it was really 50-50, physics and statistics. I think that's the correct balance myself. And feel free to watch or use any of my 1120 videos on YouTube. Also, it's very important that you be mindful of the program status of the course and the nature of your students. Feel free to reach out if you do have questions, either to me, this is my number, or to Linda, and I shared her email with you above. In closing, now more than ever, time is precious. Each day must count. Do the math, it will make you strong. And now more than ever, take care of yourself, because self-care is important, and of each other, because we're all in this together. Again, take care, and God bless you.